Hello there, welcome to the Webinar Blaze demo. My name is Rodney Brace, and I'm going to give you a quick overview of the presentation of the software. And what I'm going to do first, I'm actually going to engage my camera, and down at the bottom where there's a webcam button, when you click on that, it's going to bring up the webcam settings box. You're going to see yourself. It's going to allow you to choose your camera, and depending on how many cameras you have, you can choose from a drop-down list. Some people have multiple cameras attached to their PC. You can also set the quality of your camera. It's by default it's set to medium. You can choose low or high. I'm just going to set it to high right now. And then you can say start sharing your webcam. And then what's going to happen, the system will activate your camera, and you will see it coming in here. Here I am over here on the side. You can actually drag this around. And so you can, let's see, let me put myself right up here. There you go. And I have a friend of mine in the room with me, Paul. Paul is here. Paul, can you see my camera at the top there?
Yes, I can, Rodney.
Okay, very good. I'm going to bring Paul over in just a moment, but before I do that, I want to show you two folks that you can actually take the camera or the webcam, the presenter, and put them on the bottom of the page. If you want, you can even take them and put them right on top of the presentation. Now I'm going to put myself right back up here, and I'm going to ask Paul to engage his camera and come on the stage with me. There he is. That's Paul from the UK. How you doing today, Paul?
I'm great, thanks, Rodney. You?
Wonderful, thank you, sir. Okay, now, folks, what you can also do is by just grabbing onto those cameras, even one, you can move it. So you can put us down at the bottom if you prefer, or you can take both of us and put us, well, I'll leave us at the top there. What I want to show you also is over here on the presentation in the corner, it says hide presentation. If you do that, it's going to bring Paul and myself into a larger focus area. And of course, if we had multiple people besides the two of us on the staging area, then the cameras would just shrink to fit and allow multiple people on the staging area. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click to restore the presentation and come back here. And now, Paul, I'm going to ask you to disable your camera again. And I'm going to do the very same thing down here on the bottom, folks, because you don't need to see us. You can still hear us. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some of the features through for this presentation, starting over here on the left-hand corner where it says use user list toggle right here. So if I click that, then you're going to see there's a whole lot of features here. There's public chat. And let me click on the public chat, and you'll see this is where people will chat. And Paul is going to type something, the same as I'm going to type hello to everyone, and if I hit the enter, you'll see that my comment is there, and I'm sure Paul is going to post something in just a second. There he is. Hi to everyone too. So everyone knows how a chat functions within a conference room, so that doesn't need any explanation. What I will do next is I'm going to go right to the right here, closed captioning. Closed captioning is very important. It is for the hearing impaired. And so if you allow that, I'm just going to click on that. And what that does, that's going to give me another box right here. And what that means is, as fast as I can type here, what I type will come up on the presentation window. Now, in order to do that, the person needs to engage their closed caption button down here. So you see it down here, so start viewing closed caption. So if I click on that, then I get to choose the language I want it in, and right here we have English, and that's the only one we have right now, but we will be adding other languages. You can choose the text color, the background color. You can play with this, and it'll give you an example of what it looks like right here. I'm just going to say start. And then what happens is, if you have someone who can type as fast as you can talk, then as they type here, let me just show you what it is. This is a sample. You can see it typing. I even spelled the word wrong. But you can see even my mistakes are there. But you get the idea, and it will stay there for a moment, then it'll disappear. And let's do this. Let's try this again. So you see that it types onto the screen, but you need someone who can type as fast as you can talk, obviously. Now, what I'll do is I'll disengage that again. Let me disable that here. Shared notes. Let me just show you what this is all about. If I click on shared notes, then it's going to bring another window in here. This is a collaboration tool. So everyone in the room who's in the webinar room can actually type on the same document. And I'm going to ask Paul to type something. Hello to everyone. Again, that's what I did. And Paul will type something as well. And everyone in the room will be able to collaborate. So everyone can type on the same document. And Paul, you can see Paul's typing there. And once we're done with the presentation, everyone can actually take a copy of this. So we'll just wait for Paul to finish so I could comment. So it's just like a notepad that allows everyone to write on the same thing. Now, when you're ready to save it, you click those arrows here. You can export this as an HTML, plain text, Microsoft Word, a PDF, or an open document format. So you get the idea. It's really a collaboration tool. Next, what I want to show you is the polling. I'm not going to create a poll, but if you wanted to create polls, then you could create polls, and then these would pop up on the presentation window here for your attendees to answer, and then you can share that information with those who are in attendance with you. Here you can see the users. There are 2 of us in here. If I click on Paul's name, then you can see that I can actually start a private chat with Paul. I can mute Paul's microphone. I can make him a presenter. So if I want Paul to take over the webinar and let him do the presentation, then he'll have full control over the room. I can remove him. So there's some features in here. I skipped over one feature that I want to go back to now because this is very important. Next to the to users tab here, you're going to see like a wheel. It says manage users. If I click on that, this allows me to do multiple things. I'm not going to get into this stuff. What I want to show you here, there's one thing very important, and this is where it says create breakout rooms. Now what is that? So let me just click on create breakout rooms. This allows us to create multiple rooms, in fact up to 8. And you can assign people, so I can pick people from here and I can drag them and drop them in the different rooms, or we can allow these people to choose which room they want to go in, or you can randomly assign them, let the computer assign people to different rooms. There's different reasons why people would want to use breakout rooms, and but at the end of the breakout rooms, what happens is everyone leaves their room and goes back to the main room. So right here I can set the duration. It's set by 15 minutes by default, but I can set it to 1 minute if I want. And then when these people go into these rooms, there will be a countdown clock, and when the clock strikes 0, all these people then come back to the main room. So like I said, there are many reasons why you would want that. I'm not going to get into any of them here. Let me just close this polling box, and I'm going to close this chat window over here. I'm going to leave this presentation here because I want to show you a couple of things. Now this is a PowerPoint presentation that I uploaded. It's basically 2 slides that I've got here. And what I'm going to do next is, if you look over here on the far right, there's tools, and by choosing the hand tool, I'm able to pick and choose different options. So if I want to, say, grab a rectangle, I can choose the size of that rectangle. So if I want to have it large, borders or small borders, you get the idea. If I want to change the color, I can certainly do that. I'm going to go with a purple. And then if I want to draw your attention to something, for example, I can draw a box around the logo and draw your attention to that. So you get the idea. It's full annotation on the whiteboard. Now let me just clear that, because what is cool about this is we also have what's called a multi-user whiteboard function. So if I click on that, now if you see, if I move my pointer over the presentation, my name is there. And you also notice that Paul now has control as well to be able to manipulate the presentation by drawing on the whiteboard, and you can see that he's done that. And then of course I can do the same thing like this. So we can actually write on this, we can draw attention to it. So it's really a collaboration tool to allow people to be able to draw on these boards together. Now once I disable that, if I want to remove all the annotations that were put on there, I can do that by just clearing everything that I've done there. Now let me show you a couple of more things. Down there on the bottom, there's the microphone that you can mute. There's your webcam. There's another feature here that's share your screen, desktop sharing. If I click on that, then what that's going to do is going to bring up a box that says share your screen. Now there are 3 options here. By default, it says share your entire screen. So if I choose that, then it's going to show everything that I see on my monitor. That's what it means by your entire screen. The cool feature about this is the application window. So if I choose that, then I can actually pick and choose from any window that I have open. For example, I can choose the Webinar Blaze window. I've got Skype open. I've got, you can see a couple of things I've got open here. And so I can actually just choose that feature. And what that does, that allows us to just share that one particular screen. That way, if I have other things open on my computer and I don't want people to see it, then they won't see it. There's another feature here that says Chrome tabs, and that simply means that you might have Chrome open with multiple tabs, and you might want to choose just one particular tab that you want to share. So screen sharing is really robust. It gives you many options. I'm not going to go into that. I just wanted to show you that. Now, another thing I want to show you is down here. This is the Actions tab down here in the left corner. And if I click on that, then there's an option here to start a poll, which I just showed you. There's also the upload presentation. I'll show you that in a moment. But here's another cool that says share YouTube video. So if I click on that, then you can paste a YouTube video in here. And I have a link. Let me just paste it here. And I'm going to hit share a new video. Once I do that, it's going to bring in the YouTube video. I'm going to begin playing it. You can hear that.
Welcome to the Audio Video Conference Advantage.
I'm going
Let's
to
take a look inside.
Stop that. So I actually control the play, the pause, the stop, and all of that. So you can actually bring that in and share a YouTube video with your attendees. We will add other options. People are asking for Vimeo. I spoke to my developers, and yes, we're going to be able to do that as well. So that will come as well. And then when you want to go back to the main screen, you just click on the Actions tab again and say stop sharing YouTube video, and that will bring you back here. Now, let me show you something else about the presentation. If I click on the Actions tab again, and I want to upload a presentation, this gives you some options here. And you'll see that I have the current demo slides PowerPoint here. That's the one I had. Now, here is a little tab here that says allow presentation to be downloaded. By default, it has a line through it, which means I don't allow people to download the presentation. However, if I choose to allow them to do that, then I click on it, and then I click confirm. And then I come back here, and now you're going to see, you'll barely see it, but down here there's an option. By people clicking on this, it will allow them to download that presentation, and then just ask where you want that to go, or just give it choose a file. Okay, let me just go back and click here again, and let me just remove that and confirm that. Now, when you're adding a presentation to the desktop area here, it's very simple. Clicking on the Actions tab, upload your presentation. And I'm going to delete this one by clicking here, remove the presentation, then I confirm it. And now you'll see that it has disappeared. We're just left with the blank blue screen at the staging area. But if you click on the Actions tab, upload your presentation, locate your PowerPoint or any file that's a Word file. Let me show you what I mean by that. If you look here, it says custom files. You can see all the different extensions that you can upload into the presentation software. It will take any Microsoft Documents file. So I'm going to load that demo slide again into here, and then it says to be uploaded. You have to say upload, and then what it does, it will process that file. So it takes all the files that you upload and it actually converts them to PDF. So PDF is the preferred format. However, any Word document you can load in here, and then you can let your attendees download those. So you see now we're coming back to the presentation window, and we have the Webinar Blaze demo slide there. I think I've covered pretty much everything that I wanted to do. I know I went through it fairly quickly. If you have any questions about it, we'd love to talk to you. If you want a demo, then you can certainly get in touch with me, and I'll be happy to go through that with you. This is version 2 of our system. Version 3 is going to be released in the fall, and that is a complete evergreen system, and I'd be happy to talk to you about that as well. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.